Hey, Jonuska and Connie Connolly, welcome to the Rocky Mountain Writer Podcast.
Thank
Oh,
you.
thanks for having us.
Yeah, co-chairs of Colorado Gold coming up at the end of September. Here we are, third week of June. We're recording on June 22nd. So I think the obvious question is, how are you feeling? How are things coming together? Connie, let's start with you.
I think things are great. We're very optimistic. We have well over 200 registrations at this point, so we are very, very excited. And I mean, there's still 3 months to go.
Yeah, yeah. Kate, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling incredibly energized. The registration so far, like Connie has said, has gone really, really well. We're getting a ton of buzz about our keynote speakers, especially Chuck Wendig. Definitely think that people are coming from a little further and wider, at least so far. And I'm really, really excited to see, usually at the end of registration, we get the people who come from further away or the newcomers. And it's really fun to get to see them register. So like Connie, I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a good year.
Yeah. Well, we got several things to talk about, but I want to quickly give a plug for Chuck Wendig. That guy, if he doesn't fire you up and get you inspired, nobody can. He is so entertaining. I've seen him, and he is just engaging, personable, articulate, and he makes it feel like it's the first time he's ever given a speech. And he's just really, really good. So worth the price of admission right there. And he hangs around. He really is super convivial and all that good stuff. So, yeah. Well, let's sort of break down some of the key aspects. Let's first talk about some of these really cool features around different ways to access the conference. And then in a minute, we'll go back and kind of go through the schedule. We'll touch on Thursday intensives and the Friday master classes. But there are some kind of new features, Connie, around hybrid, virtual, and day passes. Can you walk us through what each of those is?
Absolutely. So there's a new component this year, and that's the virtual aspect. So there will be 3 rooms that are running classes during the days that will be streaming live for people that are not in attendance. This is a new feature. We have been very lucky to have Writing Heights in Northern Colorado come in and take charge of this for us. So it's great. And they'll have 6 months access after the conference is over to be able to access those hybrid classes. They will also be able to ask questions live during the workshops. So we're super, super excited about having that new component this year. And then the Saturday day pass, there's a lot of writers that work full time. And
Yeah.
a lot of them have said they want to come, but they can't justify paying for the full conference to only be there for one day. So we decided why not? And it's actually been a very popular option.
That's great. Do you know the cost of hybrid and or the cost of day pass off the top of your head?
So the day pass is $249, and I believe hybrid is $219 for members and $259 for non-members.
Yeah.
It's 269 for non-members,
Oh,
but yes.
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah. Yep. That's great. And that day pass, really well, I mean, Friday's a great day, of course, too, but it's quote unquote only half a day unless you sign up for the master classes Friday morning. So you're really getting the middle day, the beefiest,
Right.
richest day of material. You can't, and does the day pass allows you to go to the banquet or buy a banquet ticket as well?
It does include the banquet and the lunch.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
so that price does include the banquet. That's quite a deal. Yeah,
yeah.
that's great.
Yeah, both of those things, the hybrid or virtual and the day passes, are things that RMFW wanted to do for several years, but that Connie has been able to make happen. It takes a little administration behind the scenes to be able to offer those things, and that they're super popular just goes to show it's worthwhile. And yeah, I'm really grateful we were able to put those on the table this year.
Yeah, I mean it's a little bit when you go in to register, I think that's when you kind of see there's got to be a lot of pieces sort of behind the scenes to come together to go down this menu of all your options in terms of both education and what you're signing up for in terms of whether it's a mentor experience or a social media checkup, but then also all your menu choices. And it's just Oh, yeah, it's a complicated little system back there. So,
Well, that doesn't even get into the actual conference curriculum, the general curriculum, where we're balancing 10 rooms plus ballrooms plus networking events and private parties and like juggling who's in what room. It's definitely it's a circus, but that's why we like to go. It's a circus. It has
Right.
everything.
yeah, yep. Yeah, our Rocky Mountain Fiction Writers Colorado Gold is, a few hundred people in the end. And you imagine these conferences where they have 5,000 or 6,000 people and, a week of classes and workshops and panels. And yeah, it's just nuts.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being the ones to be back there behind the screen, manipulating all these pieces and making the schedule all fall together. Fantastic. So should we maybe talk about the Thursday intensives and just, if you want to, you can really go from Thursday morning all the way to Sunday lunch, and you can just completely book yourself into a world of learning and make it as like cream, just drinking heavy cream for 4 days, basically. The Thursday intensives this year look amazing. Do you want to walk us through those? One of you?
Connie, do you want me to take that or do you want to go?
Go ahead, Kate.
All right, cool. Well, yeah, Mark, as you were saying, this is a great add-on program. It's honestly, you can do this on its own or in addition to the conference. For those of you who might be interested in doing just the Thursday, it's more intense, obviously, given the name, but it's really in-depth content. We have 2 different tracks this year. The first one is hosted by our RMFW favorite, Angie Hodap, and it's called the Traditional Publishing Boot Camp. Gone are the days when we were traditionally publishing, like everybody else did all the work. There's still a lot of work involved in pitching agents, marketing, getting ready for traditional publishing. And this is a full day, 4 different block sessions about how to do that. If you're not interested in that, the other side's a little bit more in the craft direction, in genre fusion. Genre fusion is a popular topic. I'm sure, Mark, you've heard it talked about quite a bit around the community, about not only fusing genres, but tropes within genres. And this is 4 different blocks about different ways of doing that. One interesting one is from former Writer of the Year, Cindy Myers, and talks about all the different ways you can slice romance. So romance mystery, romance sci-fi, romance literary fiction. Other ones include how to use different art forms like letters, other things like that to make, let me start over on that one. That one is about experimenting with different literary art forms. So not just fiction, but fiction with plays, fiction with poems, with letters, epistolary novels, that way of making fusion. The other 2 are effective genre fusion fiction in general, just talking about what genre fiction is and how to do it. And the other one is autofiction, I is another, infusing memoir with fiction, which is another very, very popular thing that I hear RMFW members talking about sometimes. So those are the 2 really in-depth intensives you can choose from to add on to your conference experience. You come to the hotel a day early. It includes lunch, a coffee break, and also a happy hour afterwards, where hopefully at least a few of the teachers stick around to talk with participants.
Yep. And the price on those intensives?
The price on those intensives,
drum roll, please, while she looks it up,
is $259 if you're already going to the conference. If you're not going to the conference, it's a pretty good deal. If you're a member, you can get in for $299. If you're a member of the general public, it's $329. But you do save $40 if you're already going to the conference, and it's only $259 to add on that whole extra day of very personalized content.
That's fantastic, which is the cost of a day pass for the Saturday thing, roughly. It's in that same ballpark. Yeah.
Well, value-wise, it does seem, similar.
Yep. Well, and I'll just sing the praises of 2 of those presenters. If anybody who doesn't know Angie Hodap and how just, rock solid she is with her advice and her understanding of the whole publishing business, from wordcraft and sentences all the way through to agent contracts and the publishing marketplace, all that good stuff. She is phenomenal. And the only thing I could say about Cindy Myers is she's written 1.2 million books, so she ought to know what she's talking about.
I think that's actually the number. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, it's definitely over
So,
100. She's amazing.
yeah, she is amazing. Wow. So, so I'm exhausted already. It's Thursday night. I'm at happy hour, but I still have Friday master classes ahead of me before the conference even officially, quote unquote, starts. Who wants to walk us through the master classes on Friday morning?
So I can do that. We have some great classes. We actually have 5 this year. We have Novels 101 by Sharon Misnery.
Minery.
I always say
Sharon,
her name
yeah.
wrong.
She's a neighbor of mine down here in Southwest Colorado.
Oh,
so
really?
she is absolutely wonderful. Yeah.
She is. And I spent some time talking to her last year, and we spent 5 minutes talking about the pronunciation of her name, and I still can't get it right. But so she's doing Novels 101. And then we have how to self-publish your novel on a budget with Jason Evans and Melissa Coons. And that one just sounds, I mean, it's got quite a bit of traction already. We have Adrenaline Rush, How to Write Suspense Fiction by John Gilstrap. And I mean, we all know John's amazing. Everybody loves him.
He was a
Everybody loves
welcome
him.
speaker a few years ago and was just
Yeah.
very well received. Very smart man.
Yep.
Yep.
Super. Yeah. Very decades of experience in the business.
Yep.
Yep.
Then we have audiobooks with Tom Farrell and Susan Brooks. And then we have The Middle Edit with Karen Lynn. So I feel like we have some pretty good, there's a good mix of information in there.
Yep.
And those classes run from 8 a.m. to 12 p.m. on Friday mornings. And I believe
Yep.
they're 85. Is that correct, Kate?
I believe so, yeah. And that's a pretty good value
Yeah.
for 4 hours of pretty intense content.
Absolutely.
Really, these are great because you get to choose what you need to work on. And that
Yep.
very much
Yeah.
varies from writer to writer, where you are in your career or with your project. So depending on where you are, this might be right the ticket for you.
Right.
Yep. And among those presenting on the Friday morning master classes is Writer of the Year finalist Tom Farrell. So
Oh,
we
yes.
mentioned
Thank you for mentioning that. I
the
forgot he
audio,
was a
yeah.
finalist this year.
Yeah. Yeah. Yep. All right. So Friday, the conference begins at noon. And what's sort of, oh, go ahead, Kate.
It
Yeah.
starts at 1.
Starts at 1.
Doesn't it?
Starts at 1. Middle of the day, I guess. Yeah. So, yeah. And you've been doing this in the past couple or 3, 4 years. I'm not sure how long you're starting off with everybody together.
I believe that we started with a kickoff event in 2021. It might have been done
Yeah.
before that, with a few years of skipping, but it
Yeah.
hadn't been done for a while. I believe it was Mira Landry and myself the first year we were there after COVID. And it was John Gilstrap who actually
Yeah.
originated that role, believe it or not. He approached us and he was such a phenomenal figure, and we already had our keynote speakers. And we're like, you know what? We should have a kickoff speaker too. The conference does not start with lunch. You come at 1 o'clock. We all gather together for the wonderful speech. It was by John the first year. This year it's by, guess who? Mark Stevens, who I'm speaking with. So we always try to choose someone who's very talented and very accomplished and very
So what-
handsome. I mean,
So you lost. What happened this year then? How did that, you failed?
no, I think we got it right on the bullseye. We got someone who's very signature of RMFW, who has been around for a long time, who people bond with, understand. Mark, in addition to being our writer of the year, you've been our photographer over the year for the conferences. So I think you being the person to welcome people at 1 o'clock for a short little speech, and then at 1:30 we divide for that. Gosh, how many hours of content, Connie? I mean, it's really mind-boggling.
We have over 120 hours of content this year.
That's for the general schedule.
Yeah.
Insane.
It
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. And if you just look at that beautiful, beautiful schedule online and the color coding, the way it's done, it is just so inviting. You will have a hard time deciding where you want to be. So many options all Friday afternoon, all day Saturday, and half day Sunday. Yeah, and so just to double check, you said the welcome speech is short. I thought I had 90 minutes. No?
No, 4 hours.
Yeah, no,
Honestly, I'm not sure the exact number, but
yeah.
it is
It's about
the
20,
warm
15,
and
20
welcome.
minutes, Mark.
You take
I
as
have a
long
rough
as you
idea.
need.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's great. And you want to highlight any other things going on? We have the bookstore for those who want to sign up for the bookstore. Are we doing a public reading like we've done in the past?
We do have open mics scheduled for Friday night, in conjunction with the author signing, which is, we do that every year. So we'll have that Friday evening as well as the open mic Friday evening.
Yep.
The bookstore is a little different this year, Connie. Do you want to speak to that? It's going to be in a nice new space.
Yes,
Oh,
we actually moved the bookstore closer to the registration desk and in one of the large banquet halls. So
Ballrooms, yeah.
one of the ballrooms, thank you. So there's going to be more space, more area for people to walk around, and it will be more visible. People will be able to just walk in and there it is.
very good. I just saw the email go out to those attending who've already registered. If you've registered and if you want to sell your book at the conference, the form just went out to, and I think you're working with bookies this year, correct? Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yes. So
Yeah.
that went out to
Yeah.
all the hall
Yeah.
members yesterday.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. How about some of these? There's some little add-ons you get as you go through the registration form. We need to talk about the social media checkup and also the mentoring opportunities and the blue pencil opportunities as well. Who wants to walk us through all three or one of those or
Well, I
Connie?
can go ahead and start. The social media checkup is new this year. This is exciting for us. We've got Mariah Ankerman and he goes by ZS Diamante, but it's Zach.
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 So, but they are wonderful social media presence. I don't know if you have the opportunity to go check them out. They both do so many fun videos. They're just quirky and I love to watch them, but I don't spend any time on social media.
No.
No, I would never. So, but what the unique thing about this is that for those that sign up for it, Zach and Mariah will go in before conference. They will check through their Instagram and their TikToks, see where they think things need to change, what they could do differently, etc. And then they'll meet with them during conference. I think it's 20 or 25 minutes and go over what they discovered. So it's not just that 25 minutes at conference. They're actually going and working behind the scenes before you get to conference so they can have a conversation with you and already be knowledgeable about your social media. So that one to me, I feel is incredibly valuable in this day and age because that's where everybody is.
Yeah. And
And
for those who
hiring a
want
social media consultant is very expensive.
Mhm.
This is a great way to get a similar experience.
Right.
Yep. The previous podcast to this one was with both Mariah and Zach.
Oh yeah.
Highly recommend more detail to dive into their worlds. And if you just dial them up on TikTok or Twitter or Instagram or Facebook, you will instantly see that these people, both of them, really know their stuff.
Yep.
So, yep. Very good. Okay, the mentors next, maybe?
So we do have some mentor appointments available. We have, I think, 12 that are mentoring this year. A couple of them have filled up. So even though we have 12, if you're going to register, you might see that there's only like 4 or 5 names. That's because everybody else filled up pretty quick. So, but the mentor appointments, I mean, those are amazing. You get to spend time with an author that's, they're published. They've been doing this for a long time. We have, I know, like Stephanie Reisner, Susan Brooks, I think she's full, but she's on there. Andre Gonzalez. I mean, these are people that have been with RMFW for a long time, and they've been doing this for a long time. So this is an opportunity to sit down and learn from someone that's been in the industry for a while.
Yep, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, blue pencil opportunities.
Now, the blue pencils this year are a little different in that we've had different sponsorship opportunities that allow blue pencils to be given away at no cost. That means register
Amazing.
early. And you have the opportunity to get one of those blue pencil appointments, which I believe is 15 minutes, Connie, is that correct?
I believe so. And to be honest, I think they're almost completely sold out. I think there's
Yeah, so if you want one of those, you got to jump on it now. I know I'm doing a few, but basically this is a critique. You get to bring 3 to 4 pages of your work in progress and get that invaluable peer review. We do have critique roundtables available as an add-on, but honestly, those sell out so fast, they're mostly gone. This is another way of getting a peer, your work in front of a peer, a very trusted peer, someone RMFW has said will be a good one. So if you want one of those, get on it now. I know I'm giving away a few. I think I'm doing 4 of them. And I mean, I wrote a book on critique. These are valuable opinions. So not only are you getting like all the workshop experience, but you're really getting someone's eyes on your work specifically.
Yep, absolutely. And talk about the critique roundtables too. I have to say, when I first signed up for that, I thought, boy, I feel like I should probably be in a workshop, but I'm going to do this critique roundtable. It might eat up some time and I won't be able to get to these workshops. This is before any kind of hybrid or virtual access was available. But man, was I happy I did that. It just really gave me a whole different flavor. And boy, the feedback I got that day was just dynamite.
Well, actually, Connie, if you don't mind me continuing, they're actually all going on at the same time as the master classes. So this time around, you do not have to miss any of the regular workshops in order to go to a critique roundtable. You cannot do a master class and a roundtable at the same time because they're happening simultaneously. But we still have just a few spots available if this podcast comes out quickly. And it is invaluable. Not only do you get the feedback of the industry professional that's leading it, which is mostly agents. This year, I believe we had 4, but you also get the opinions of the other 6, 7 writers around the table. And if you have never had the opportunity for real educated peer feedback, it can change your entire craft. It can change your entire perspective. And that's why they sell out. I mean, I wish we could offer 18 of them. I think we could probably sell them out every year, but we only have so many experts in so many rooms. But yeah, jump on that fast. The other thing we're doing is during the regular conference, both I and our conference intern, Amber, are hosting a critique partner dating session. So we will help you get together with your own critique group, your own critique partners. So even if you can't get it done in one of our roundtables or a blue pencil, don't worry, RMFW's got you, and we'll set you up with some critique for after.
Fantastic. That's great. And speaking of the agents, which you mentioned, pitch appointments as well. Big part of it.
Saturday will be pitch appointments all day long. We have 5 agents and 1 editor this year. We have Alexandra Grana, she's very popular. Kathy Hedrick Armstrong, Angie Hodap, Mira Landry, and Rachel Latofsky. Those are our agents. And then we have Nicole Luongo, who's our editor. So, and I mean, it's a great opportunity. You get 10 minutes, you come in, you pitch your work, and I mean, it's fun. It's a good experience. I know a lot of people get intimidated, but if you have fun with it, it's great. It's great experience and it's great exposure.
And the more you pitch, the better you get at it. So start now. Yep. Yeah.
And RMFW, sorry, go ahead, Connie.
No, go ahead.
RMFW is one of the few conferences left that does not charge you extra for a pitch appointment. Now, granted, it's about 50-50, maybe a little bit higher, but not everybody wants to pitch an agent. They're either not at the time or they're going indie or what have you. But you get to do it very low key for very low cost. And that makes it possible to make it a little low pressure, I think.
Yeah.
It's not like your life's depending on it. And these agents we pick because they are personable and you can talk to them, and even if you don't do very well, they're going to try to tell you next time, do this to do better.
Yeah.
It's a really valuable experience.
Fantastic.
And one of our sponsors, Your Book is Your Hook, Jennifer Wilcove is the owner of that, and she's actually offering a pitch prep session prior to conference. You can find that information on the website. This is what she does. She teaches people how to pitch and how to get their books in front of agents. So it's definitely an option.
Yeah, you may have
Great.
seen that on the registration form, but you can also find out more information on the website, the conference website.
Mhm.
Great. What else do we need to touch on? This is a great rundown. We mentioned Chuck. Did we mention the other keynote speaker?
We did not.
Definitely.
Beverly.
I
Okay.
actually have that.
Yeah.
Beverly Jenkins. I actually think she's a great counterpoint to Chuck. Not that she doesn't have the charm and the charisma that Chuck does. He does. She has that as well, but she's a different genre. She does historical and also romance. So as opposed to Chuck, who's a little bit on the darker side, he does science fiction, horror. Beverly Jenkins has some great series work in both historical romance and romance contemporary. She does a lot of conferences, and she is a wonderful, warm presence who kind of evens out Chuck, the light to the dark, perhaps, or maybe the warm to the dark. Who knows? But I have a feeling they're going to be a pretty good duo. Chuck's going to speak on Saturday night, and Beverly's speaking on Friday night, I believe. So both of them, I think, will have different things to offer, but really represent how well-rounded we are in general at RMFW, I think.
Yep. Yep. And seems like, I mean, I haven't been to the new conference facility yet because I had a little issue last year with a certain disease that was
Shall
going
not be
around.
named.
Yeah. But it seems like Colorado Gold is really settling into this new facility too, and everybody really seems to like it.
They do, and it's nice because everything's on the same floor. So all of your
Yeah.
banquets, your workshops, it's all right there in one space.
Yep. And is there a bar? Is that I just want to make sure there's a bar.
There's
Oh God,
always
yeah, there's a
bar.
bar. In fact, the bar has several areas. There's the bar attached to the restaurant, the more loungy one around the fireplace. There's room to spread out. Don't worry. We'll take over
Yeah.
the entire lounge for BarCon.
That's great. Wow. Well, is there anything else we need to mention? This has just been a great overview, and I just think we want to emphasize that you want to get your registration in before mid-August, where prices go up again. If you miss the early bird, and also you might poke around online. You might run into a social media promotion or two that might save you a few bucks if you're alert to that.
Yep.
But you've got basically the next 7 weeks or so to make sure you get the main registration fee before the late prices go into place. But yeah, this has been a great rundown. Anything else we think we're missing?
I would really
Well,
like to mention our partners and our sponsors, if that's okay.
Please.
So we are partnering with the League of Utah Writers this year. We did a ticket swap. Currently, if you go online, you can find a contest to win a ticket to their conference, which is in August. And they have someone that won a ticket to our conference. So that was really fun. They've been great. They have a couple instructors from their group that are coming out this year. I also want to mention Writing Heights again. They're the ones bringing in our hybrid portion, our virtual. They've been amazing. And then Indie Author Magazine. They are cooking up some things for us to do online. As soon as I have more information, we'll be able to talk about it more freely. But they have been a wonderful resource for us. And then I would like to mention all of our sponsors. We have quite a few this year, so I'll just go real quick. We have Your Book is Your Hook, Crave Books, Vellum, Book Funnel, Blue Ink Review, Next Generation Short Story Awards, Andrews Artistry, Regis University MFA Program, Book Career in a Year, Writer's Block Box, Book MD, M4L Publishing, Five Prints Publishing, and Author by Design. And all of these sponsors help make things like our swag bags and the signage and, all the little details. They make these things happen. So we're very, very grateful to have those people on board with us this year.
And one thing I'll add, just to keep it real about the money as well. Remember, we have scholarships. We're all writers, and we know that budget can be an issue. Please go to the website, the conference website. There's applications there for the scholarship. We will let you know in August, so you'll have time. But it includes a full scholarship. It doesn't include lodging or transportation, but you'll get to attend all the meals, all the workshops you want. And we have all been there where we need a little bit of extra help for our writing, but we don't have the money in the bank. So please go in and apply for that if that's an issue. Or like Connie mentioned, please use the one-day option, the hybrid option. We really are here no matter where you are. So even if you can't come for the conference, hey, keep checking out RMFW. We have other things for you too.
Yep.
Terrific. Yeah, it used to be Colorado Gold. Here it is. Here's the conference. Come, start, finish. Now it's just got all these permutations and options. It really is flexible. And congratulations to you all. And thank you both for all the creativity and thinking you put in to try to connect the community in all the different ways that they might want to connect with the conference. So thank you so much. Connie and Kate, thank you for a great chat today. And we will catch up with you both real soon.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.